Hello and welcome to day 2 of the HEALCoach Pantry Makeover Challenge. I'm Jamie Nicole, the voice behind the Natural Healing Coach. I'm a certified health coach who empowers busy professionals to make healthier choices that promote healing for the body, mind, and the soul. Now, through individualized and personalized health coaching, I help people achieve their healthiest and happiest selves by finding the balance of healthy eating and active living that works best for their unique body. Now, if you haven't done so already, go back to day 1 where we talk about cleaning out sugar. Now, for today, we're going to talk about salt and replacing the bad with the good. As you clean out your pantry, again, as we talked about on day 1, be sure to set aside anything that is non-perishable and unopened. These foods can be donated to a local food pantry because remember, as I always say, we want to heal good, we want to feel good, and we want to do good by paying it forward. Now, let's get started. In the comments, again, because we're a village and we're interactive, make sure you type out some of the reasons you've heard about getting rid of salt or why you need to get rid of salt. Why have other people told you need to ditch salt if you don't think it's an issue? What are some of the bad things you've heard about eating salt? Share some of those things you've heard and read about, and we'll dive into the details in a bit. One of the biggest reasons that people shouldn't eat too much salt is that it contributes to high blood pressure, but I'm sure most of us already knew that. When you consume salt, your body retains water. All of that extra water being stored in your body raises your blood pressure. When your blood pressure is high, you run into other health issues. This includes strain on your heart, your arteries, your kidneys, and even your brain. This can cause significant health problems such as heart attacks, strokes, kidney disease, and even dementia. If you're eating processed food items, and that again keeps coming up, that processed food, there's a lot of salt hidden in those foods. It's estimated that 80% of the salt you eat comes from processed foods. If you aren't adding salt to these foods, you may not even realize the salt is in them already. It's recommended that adults eat no more than 6 grams of salt per day. And in reality, we all know that most of us are eating much more than that. So, are you someone that typically adds salt to your meals? Comment below and let me know if you're a salt lover. Now for me, I can take it or leave it. I've gradually changed my salt preferences over time. There used to be a time back in the day when my go-to salt was, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, depending on where in the country, where you are in the world, it's called Tony Chachere's. It's a Cajun seasoning that I would put on everything. But if you have a can in your cabinet, go check it out. See what's on the back of it and see if you can recognize all of the ingredients and see how much sodium it has. It's tasty, but it's not good for you. So what I primarily use now, and let me just let you know, I love seasoning. I love all kinds of seasoning. But when I'm in a hurry, I'm just, putting something on a dish maybe that I bought out or something that I put together really quickly. And I want to add a little flavor to it. I use one just plain pink Himalayan salt. Has a lot of minerals, good nutrient value. Add it to your food. So it's a healthier alternative to the regular table salt. Or something called Bragg's 24. It's a combination of 24 different seasonings. For me, the combination of the Bragg's 24 and the Himalayan salt kind of replaced the Tony Chachere's for me over time, right? So again, it's not about taking something out and depriving yourself. It's about making healthier alternatives so your food can still taste good, but it's still healthy as well. So again, make sure that you make a comment below so we can have a conversation about what you're doing. And if I can provide you any assistance or tips, I'll be sure to comment and give you that information as well. So now it's time to clean out your pantry. You probably got rid of some of the stuff yesterday if you watched the video yesterday and participated when we ditched the sugar. Because 9 times out of 10, if it has a lot of sugar, it also has a lot of salt. You should still run through your pantry and make sure that you don't have any excessively salty foods left. Many breakfast foods, and again, those processed foods in general, contain a lot of salt, but also some other things you may not be aware of, or other foods you may not be aware of. Bread also contains salt. This is one of the places where salt is hidden and you may not be familiar with it. Again, cans of soup or other canned foods contain a lot of salt. Canned vegetables that might not even taste salty can contain unhealthy amounts of salt. So again, it's about those healthy foods. It's always good to buy fresh, but if you need to buy canned, just make sure that you're checking those labels to make sure that you're not defeating the purpose of eating healthy in the first place. Now, most of us think of salty foods like potato chips, pretzels, popcorn, certain crackers, and other similar snacks. Take note of these foods and also toss what needs to go, or again, make sure that we're donating it to charity. This one may be a shocker to a lot of you. I know that we're in a fast-paced world, always grabbing stuff on the go. Oftentimes think that, a roasted chicken is better than fried chicken, which it technically is. But if you buy rotisserie or fried chicken, it contains about 4 times as much sodium as chicken you prepare at home. And that's why I'm such an advocate of making your meals at home, cooking for yourself, because you know exactly what's going into it. So, no matter what type of salt it may be, it can raise your blood pressure. This includes sea salt, rock salt, garlic salt, and any other kind of salt. So make sure that you're keeping this in mind as you cook your meals day in and day out. When you first ditch those salty foods, your taste buds will have to adjust. And this is with anything, even on the sugar. I know a long time ago, before I started on my healthy journey, I used to love milk chocolate and despised any type of dark chocolate. Now it's the complete opposite. My taste buds adjusted over time. So now milk chocolate is way too sweet for me. And I love dark chocolate, and it's healthy for you, so I don't feel guilty about it. So the same is true when you stop putting salt on top of your food. It will take some time getting used to, but you can do it. Just stick it out and hang in there. And also too, it contains it takes a lot of patience. So just start gradually. If you can't quit cold turkey, I know that we're saying that now. Just gradual changes over time, small changes over time will add up in the long run. So instead of adding salt to your food, like I said before, you can start experimenting with other spices. That's exactly what I did. These spices will add flavor to your food without contributing to any health risk. So try, adding things like freshly cracked pepper for a pop of flavor. Some of my new favorites are smoked paprika. Another one that you may want to try down the line, I just got onto this one. It's called garam masala, and you can find it at any grocery store now. I think it's spelled GARAM masala, MASALA, but don't quote me on that. But just try experimenting with it. I'm always putting it on chicken. That's the first thing I try out to see how it tastes, and then I just expand the menu and my options from there, and everything tastes great. It's not tasting the same over time. It just gives you a lot of variety by experimenting with different spices, even if you're eating the same food like chicken and fish. And again, we're going to continue this conversation tomorrow. One type of food that contains a lot of salt is your condiments. And a lot of us don't even think about looking at the sodium content in our condiments. We will be talking more about the condiments next time, so stay tuned to learn more about what condiments you should keep and which ones you should toss. And that's going to be an interesting conversation, so make sure you check that out next time. You can also avoid salt by cooking at home instead of buying prepackaged, frozen, or processed meals. Again, as I just stated earlier, when you cook your own food, you can choose what you add and leave the salt out. Now, there are a lot of low sodium options when it comes to buying canned foods if you feel that you absolutely have to. All canned foods need some level of sodium to preserve the food. If possible, buy fresh vegetables instead of canned ones. Then you won't have to worry about any added salt. In the comments, again, this is interactive. I'm doing this for you guys, so make sure that you leave comments. I want to share. I want to answer all of your questions. Share what switch that you'll be making, or a switch that you'll be making to reduce your sodium intake. And then also let me know, what were you surprised to learn today, if anything. If there's anything that you didn't hear before, something that was new, something that a light bulb went off, be sure to let me know. And if you've tried ditching the salt before and you were successful, leave those tips. Other people need to hear from you as well. Again, this is a village, and we're here to support one another in our journey. So until next time, take care and clean out those pantries. Take care.